welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about Judith Butler, a very important theorist when it comes to queer theory. So in the previous videos, we discussed what is queer theory, what is this fluidity of personality, what is the fluid identity that we hold. And this person, Judith Pamela Butler, is going to talk about these things, how gender is nothing but a performity. Let us dwell into the video deeper. Judith Pamela Butler was born on February 24th in 1956, and she's an American philosopher and of gender studies and a scholar whose work was very influential and is very influential in fields like political philosophy, ethics, in the field of third wave feminism, queer theory, as well as literary theory also. So this picture in front of you is of Judith Butler. She is an American philosopher who has written in greater detail about how the identities are not at all static but fluid in nature. Butler is best known for her books like Gender Trouble, Feminism and the Subversion of Identity that came out in 1990. We have Bodies That Matter, On the Discursive Limits of Sex that came out in 1993. In which they challenge the conventions of gender. So she's talking about how the conventions of gender are too stereotypical and develop the theory of gender performity. She started to talk about the theory of gender performity, as well as she in greater detail talked about gender. There are books like Who's Afraid of Gender, What World Is This, Gender Trouble. These are the important books that she has written. So you need to know the works as well as the dates, because definitely chronological questions are asked, and sometimes they can ask you questions, where you have to match the following things, match the books with the dates in which they were asked. So you need to be very proactive in doing these things. Performative Acts and Gender Constitution. This was a work that came out in 1988. Let us talk about this essay she has written. So in the essay, Performative Acts and Gender Constitution, an essay in phenomenology and feminist theory, Judith Butler proposes that gender is what? Gender is only a performance. Gender is performity. But Butler is going to assert that because gender identity is established through behavior that you hold, there is a possibility to construct different gender via different behaviors. So we know that a girl is not allowed to sit with open legs but has to sit with crossed legs. So it's just a gender norm that you see. It's just a stereotypical image that you see of a girl and a boy. What is pink? Who is pink associated with? Pink is associated with the girl and blue is associated with the boy. So these are the notions, these are the behaviors that girls are expected to follow or boys are expected to follow. If a girl is born, she's going to play with Barbie dolls. And what will a boy do? A boy is going to play with maybe Avenger series, maybe cars, or maybe toy trains, etc. So we have always these fixed notions. So what she's saying, if you change the notions, if you change the behavior, the way the gender is going to perform, the way we are going to perform will also change. This means there is always a fluidity in identity and it is not fixed. And she said this, that gender is nothing but a performance, that is the performative in nature. Gender Trouble also is a work that came out in 1990. Gender Trouble discusses works of very significant writers like Sigmund Freud, Simone de Beauvoir, Julia Kristeva, Jacques Lacan, Louis Ingres, Montesquieu, and we have Jacques Derrida along with Foucault. So these are the important people whom she is going to discuss in this canonical path-breaking work, The Gender Trouble. Now they can ask you questions directly. Who are the theorists which she has talked about in the work, The Gender Trouble? What is she talking about in Gender Trouble? So when it comes to these essays or these books, you have to read a little bit more about the topics that we are discussing. So what is she talking about in Gender Trouble? So Butler offers a critique of the term gender and sex as they have been used by the feminists till now. So till now, how you have typified the word gender and sex, she's going to talk about it. Butler argues that feminism made mistakes in trying to make women as discrete. According to them, there is only one kind of woman, and she will question the things here. The ahistorical group with common characteristics are seen. It's a group with common characteristics, and you make a bunch and you put them together. So there can be varied characteristics also. And she is going to talk about how the different horizons are open to us now. So she prefers, rather than being a fixed attribute to a person, gender should be seen as a fluid variable which shifts and changes in different contexts and at different times. So according to her, at different times, at different situations, if given these significant things, you can see that because of the different situations, you see your identity as being very fluid. So identity is not fixed, it is not static, but it is a variable that can change. It is a variable that can change. She argues that sex, that is male and female, is seen as a cause of gender, that is masculine and feminine, which is seen as the cause desire towards the other gender. So she's going to in detail talk about sex, gender, as well as desire, and you cannot mix these three things together. This is seen as a kind of continuum. Butler's approach is basically to smash and to just smash the various old illogical notions that we had. So this is seen as a kind of continuum. Butler's approach is basically to smash the supposed links between these, so that gender and desire are flexible, free-floating, and not caused by the stable factors. So according to her, the desire as well as the gender are free-floating. You can say they are fluid in nature. They are fluid variables. They are free-floating and not caused by some stable factors. They can change. They are not fixed. Butler suggests that certain cultural configurations and expectations have come to seem natural in our culture as it presently, but she suggests it does not have to be that way. So she says that presently we have some fixed notions and you can change them. So who said that a girl cannot like blue color when she is born? Who said it? Where is it written that a boy cannot wear pink? So these are the notions, these are the old notions that we are carrying forward, and you can break these notions. It's my desire that I like blue more rather than pink. She also argues that we all put on a gender performance. So what are we putting? We put on a performance, a facade, because everyone is saying that being a girl, I need to like pink more. It's a performance that I will create. Because of a girl, because I'm a girl, I need to wear frocks more than wearing jeans. Whether these traditional or not, anyway, and so it is a question of whether to do a gender performance, but what form of performance will take. So what kind of performance you're going to take is a question, not what your desire is. By choosing to be different about it, we might work to change the gender norms and the binary understandings of masculinity and femininity. And if you chose to change, that is the queer area she is referring to, the definition of femininity as well as masculinity is going to be changed. In this idea of identity as free floating, as not connected to any kind of essence, but instead a performance, is one of the key ideas of queer theory also. So this is the key idea where you see queer theory being positionalized. Seen in this way, our identities, gendered and otherwise, do not express some authentic inner core self, but as a dramatic effect of performances. So what we are is just a performance, not a core self, because our core self can change. Then another work is The Imitation and Gender in Subordination in 1991. The full title is Inside Out, Lesbian Theories, Gay Theories. It's a collection of writings of gay and lesbian social theorists together. Butler's contribution argues that no transparent revelation is afforded by using the term gay and lesbian, yet there are political imperatives to do so. So these are the political moves that are there. Inside Out ke andar she has talked about it. Then another very important work, Bodies That Matter, came out in 1993. Bodies That Matter on the Discursive Limits of Sex sees a clear up readings and supposed misreadings of performity that view the enactment of gender or sex on the daily choices. How your daily choices are seen as performances and nothing as the core self, because she's been saying this repeatedly, that this is the fluid nature that we hold. But because of the setup, because of the social setup that we are in, we choose to perform in a certain manner without thinking. Bodies that matter के अंदर ही she talks about performativity. Performativity cannot be understood outside of a process of irritability, a regularized and constrained repetition of norms. It is just a constrained repetition of norms, and this repetition is not performed by a subject. This repetition is what enables a subject and constitutes the temporal condition of the subject. So it's a temporal condition. You are living in that condition from so from centuries to centuries, and you're not able to come out of that closet. You're not able to open the closet or break the shackles, and you're not able to see that identity can be fluid. These are the other works that are written by her: Explicable Speech, Precious Life, Undoing Gender, Giving an Account of Oneself, and The Force of Nonviolence. This is the recent work that came out in 2020, right? So I hope you understood what Butler is talking about. Her core, the word that she is basically referring in every essay, and it is asked in paper also. So this core word is identity as fluid, or you can say gender as performativity. So if they ask you who talked about gender as being a performativity, it is Judith Butler. Okay. So I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked the effort. If you have any doubt, you can ask me that in the comment section, and I'll surely reply to you. Thank you.